Good afternoon, Laws of Pesach. Today we're going to discuss the 4 cups of wine. How much wine do you have to drink for each cup? So we're in the Mishnah Berurah, or Chaim, Siman Taf Ayin Beis, 472, Seif Tes, number 9. Shir Hakos Revius. The amount of wine that has to be in the cup is a revius. So a revius, it's a revius of a lug. It's a Hebrew measurement. We'll discuss how much that is in our current measurements in a second. That revius is after you mix the wine. Back in the day, they used to have very strong wine, so they would have to add water to the wine to make it drinkable. Nowadays, we don't have to do that. Imrot Lemozgo. V'yishta kula o rubo. And you should drink most or all of it. V'im yesh bo harbe revios. Let's say you have many revios in your cup. Sheis mimeno kol kach b'nei adam k'mini revio shabo. Then, let's say you have 10 revios in your cup, then 10 people could drink. That's according to that opinion. V'yesh omrim, there are those that say, shetzarich lishtos rov hakos afilu machzik kam revios. Some say that you have to drink most of the cup. And this is the opinion that we try to fulfill. So if you have 10 revios in your cup, you have to drink most or the entire cup. V'tzarich lishtos ashir shelo behefsek gadol b'intayim. And you have to drink it without without an interruption in between. So, the minimum amount that the cup has to have for your 4 cups of wine is a revius. So, how much is a revius? So, there's many different opinions. According to the Chazon Ish, that is 150 milliliters, if you want to measure it out. According to others, it could be 118 milliliters or 130 milliliters. So, if you have a cup around that, preferably if you can be stringent for the Chazon Ish, would be nice. It's not such a big difference, 150 milliliters. And your cup has to at least have that amount, so 150 milliliters. Now, if you drink that amount for each of the 4 cups, you fulfill the obligation, and according to the letter of the law, even if you drink the majority of that amount. Now, an interesting halacha on Pesach on the 4 cups that we don't have by other things like Kiddush and whatnot, is that we saw, according to the second opinion, the best thing to do is to drink your entire cup, or at least most of the entire cup. So that means, if you have a very, very big cup for your 4 cups, you have to drink most of it or all of it. It's not, according to that opinion, it's not enough just to drink the 150 milliliters. So, just to plan ahead for Pesach, don't get a cup which is too big unless you really, really like wine, because you may get drunk. Okay, so let's read what the Mishnah Berurah has to say. Ala Seder, wrong one. Revius v'shir ayin la'el. Look above, we're discussing la'achashim zaganu. Hanu globin revius yayin chai. So, it's a revius after you mix the wine, and this really isn't relevant to us because our wine is already mixed, or we don't have that very strong. It was like wine concentrate that they used to have. El revius biyachad imamayim shemazu bo. Was maneim shayan yinus chazakim meod. Back in the day, their wines were very strong. Hayimozgan al chad tlas. They would add 3 parts water for every part wine. That's how strong their wine was. Ubiz manenu shayinus chalushim ayin lael. Mishnah Berurah. Okay. Imrotze lemozgo. Rotze leimer to bizmanenu shayanus chalushim ein chiv lemozgo afilu dechatchila v'dat afilu mishos yayin chai chazman kolmagam tzarich davka revi shalom delachilku chazal b'shman. So he says nowadays we don't mix our wine. Okay. Kula orubo hanu kula lechatchila orubo b'diavad. So if you have a revius, let's say you just have the minimum, the 150 milliliters, so you should really drink all of it. And if you can't, you can technically fulfill the mitzvah if you drink most of the 150 milliliters. Medina shayayin biyuker, places where wine is very expensive. Afil lechatchila sagi berubo. If wine is very, very expensive, then you can fulfill your obligation by just drinking most of the revius. Ach kos revius yishtekulo. Kadesh yachol levarach bracha achrona lekuli alma. He says that the 4th cup of wine you should make sure to drink at least a revius, because in addition to the mitzvah of drinking the 4 cups, you only make it after bracha, right? And when we eat something, we make a bracha before, and we also make a bracha after. So to be required to make the bracha after drinking wine, one has to drink at least a revius. So he says if you're not able to drink an entire revius for the other cups, at least for the last cup, make sure to drink a revius, so this way you can make the after blessing. He said there are those that get upset with the waiters, the butlers that drink too much for the 4 cups, and he says those people who get upset are going to have to give an accounting in front of God because they're doing the wrong thing. It's a mitzvah to drink on Pesach. These 4 cups. Shosim mimenu. Meloshen zeh mashmud afilu lechatchila shari kol sheish revius kol echad v'af agav devin lechatchila kos malei gam shali apagum hacha keven de la harishan haya kos malei kulo asi mekach rishon v'avshod bechaber ikar dina asalosh mina deshneim yosim bekos echad. He's coming to tell us here. It's unclear. He says according to the first opinion. The first opinion, we said that if you have 10 revios in 1 cup, that 10 people could fulfill the obligation with that 1 cup. So he says the Mechaber, the Shulchan Aruch is telling us the letter of the law. If for some reason you only have 1 cup, and he said perhaps it's even, according to this opinion, lechatchila, that there is no issue at all with doing this. And he says there's no issue of it being pugum. Pugum is an issue sometimes when you have a cup of wine that you use for a blessing, that it should not have come in contact with someone who drank from it yet. But he says here it's fine because the person who makes the blessing, has not been, let's say, defiled by anybody yet, even though the other people might be drinking it after the first person puts his lips on it. That is not a problem. Okay, so in this, again, the first opinion is if you have this 1 cup of 10 revius, he says that you could have 10 people fulfill their obligation even if they only drink the majority of a revius. Okay. Now is the first opinion. Now what we try to do is that everybody has their own cup. And everyone tries to drink the majority of the cup or the entire cup, even if it's much more than a revius. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Rovakos, afilu afshe ba'alma dai berov revius, afilu bekos gadol, hachal in yikosus chamer tvei. Here it's more stringent. Debeina dafka rov kos ve'im lav lagatza. He says, according to the second opinion, if you don't drink the majority of your cup, meaning even you have a gigantic cup, you weren't thinking before Pesach, you have a gigantic cup, and you don't drink the majority of the cup, according to the second opinion, you don't fulfill the obligation of the 4 cups. Uladina, however, so we have 2 opinions here. The first opinion, you just have to drink the majority of a revius, which is the majority of 150 milliliters. According to the second opinion, you have to drink the majority of the cup. So what's the halacha? So he writes, Ladina Kaimelan Kadeh Rishon. We paskin like the first one, the first opinion in the Shulchan Aruch. So really, you just have to drink the majority of 150 milliliters. However, nevertheless, im ein bedayt olishtos harbe lo yikach kos gadol rak koshemachzik revius kadeh lachush l'dezu. However, one should still be stringent to the second opinion. So if you don't plan, the Mishnah Berurah says, if you don't plan on drinking a lot on Pesach, you don't want to drink a lot, what you should do is get a cup which only holds a revius, and this way you fulfill both opinions and you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so then we said we have to drink the wine shelo behefsek gadol, without a great interruption. So what does that mean, without a great interruption? Dahainu shelo yishe b'shtiyas rova kos yoser mikadei achilas pras. So there's something called yoser mikadei achilas pras, that the time it takes to eat a pras, which is also a certain measurement, and that comes out to about between 2 and 9 minutes. So if someone doesn't drink, it could be, some opinions it's 2 minutes, some opinions it's 9 minutes. So if for some reason someone is like leisurely sipping their wine at the Seder, and it takes them over 9 minutes to drink the wine, they didn't fulfill the obligation, even if they drank most of the cup, even if they drank a revius. He has to go and drink again. I'm going to summarize this after. Okay, so he says, really, what the best thing to do when you drink the 4 cups is to drink it in 1 gulp if you can. Just drink it at one time. If you can't do that, try to do it in 2 gulps. And he says if you don't do it in 2 gulps, it sounds like for the 3rd and 4th cup, you have to go drink again, and the 1st and 2nd cup, you don't have to. Sorry, the opposite. That for the 1st and 2nd cup, if you do not drink it within, if you don't drink it within 2 gulps, you have to go back and do it again. And the 3rd and 4th cups, if you did not drink it with 2 gulps, you do not have to do it again. Now, if you can't do that, then you have to at least drink it in Kadeh Achilas Pras, which is between 2 and 9 minutes. And there, if you didn't drink it, let's say in 2 minutes, you have to go back and drink all the cups again, no matter which cup it was. So, just to review, the best thing to do is to drink it all at once. Just get it down. If can't, do it in a couple gulps. If you can't do that, make sure it's at least within 2 minutes to drink the cup of wine. Now, just to review how much wine, so we said the best thing to do is to drink the majority of the cup, and each cup has to at least be a revius, and we said a revius is anywhere from 118 milliliters to 150 milliliters, so you might want to measure that a little before Pesach. Now, fine. So that's the amount, and we said that how fast you have to drink it, that's really, you should drink it in bavas achas, in one motion. If you can't do that, 2 gulps. If not, before 2 minutes, and if you really can't do that, it has to be before 9 minutes. Now, someone who has a hard time drinking wine, really the best thing is to drink wine. You really shouldn't drink grape juice unless you just really can't stand wine, if you're allergic or something. So he says, if you could, Rabbi Eider writes that if you really can't handle a lot of wine, you can have a cup as small as 88.7 milliliters. So he said it's better to have a small cup of wine with 88.7 milliliters than it is to have grape juice. Okay? So one more time to review, how much wine do you need? Between 130 and 150 milliliters in each cup. And you really have to drink most of that cup. And how fast you have to drink it? You have to drink it in one motion, one gulp if you can. If not, 2 gulps. And if you can't do that, 2 minutes. And if you can't do that, 9 minutes. I wish everyone a very great day.